Alright, hey guys, Grandmaster Popo here again talking about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and why, in my opinion, Part 3 is the best part. Before anyone says, you can't say that, you haven't read the other parts. I've actually read up to Part 7 and I'm currently waiting for Part 8 to finish, so I can binge read that. This is a new series I'm starting that will be looking at all the parts and backing up for all the respective fans why their favorite part is the best, by critically breaking it down. So I figured to start off the series, I'm going to look at my favorite part, Stardust Crusaders. There's a reason Stardust Crusaders is the most popular part, and it's for some damn good reasons. Let's start off with the story. In a statement from Hirohiko Raque himself, he states, "The idea of making the main character from Part 3 Japanese was something I had thought of doing around the end of Part 1. I had originally planned for JoJo to be a trilogy and thought it would be appropriate to have the final fated confrontation take place in present-day Japan. This is evident throughout the whole series up until Part 3 that there is an evil still hiding, growing in power, and waiting for the day to come out of the darkness. I couldn't help but feel throughout all of Battle Tendency that I was leading up to something bigger, something that the two previous parts had been getting us ready for, the fated return of the Dio and Joestar conflict. As such, the story is much more epic and grand, as the group goes across the world searching for one man and his power to rule the world. In fact, it's in this part that Hirohiko introduces the sidekick gangs. That would continue until Part 7. If it weren't for the Stardust Crusaders, there would be no Dwayne gang, no Passion, and no Stone Ocean gang. This is also where he would start giving the side characters development, namely Polnareff, which I'm definitely going to be talking about later. We get story arcs where it will focus on the whole gang and their interactions, and them all working together to get the job done. The reason the beginning of the story is the slow, stand of the week thing was to show how the characters would react in different situations, and create more of a connection between the viewer and the characters. At the beginning of the series, we can see the characters not only don't connect, but don't like each other either. As the journey goes on, they go through plenty of dangerous situations, with their death being at any moment. The Crusaders grow a brotherly bond and become an inseparable force. This makes us feel a greater impact when characters bite the dust, and the ending more bittersweet when Jotaro reflects on his comrades that he made on the journey. Speaking of characters dying, Hirohiko makes the stakes incredibly high on the 1987 Egypt tour. Half of these Crusaders are brutally taken out, and you can tell that there has been some psychological damage done to the remaining members. As seen in Part 4, it's evident that Jotaro has severe PTSD when having to deal with the new enemy stand users. He's doing everything in his power to make sure history doesn't repeat itself. Which leads me to my next point. Why does everyone hate Jotaro? At the beginning of this part, Jotaro is a total asshole, calling his mom a straight up bitch and then trying to shoot himself. He's as edgy as it gets. But let's look at this in context. Star Platinum just recently appeared in his life, out of nowhere, an evil spirit that no one can see but himself. He's scared and doesn't know what to do, locking himself away to think things over. He's also 17 and his hormones are extremely out of whack, which is why he was calm up until the time he gained stand abilities. All the emotions are rushing in. To make it worse, his mom collapses in front of him and is dying as he stands there. He doesn't know what to do. He is overwhelmed at this whole situation. When he finds out that it was caused by one man, he channels it all into anger towards Dio. This is why he has a genuine smile looking at the picture of the gang. He's happy to have great friends get him through his lowest of low points, that no matter what tried to help him on his quest to take down Dio. The character of Jotaro Kujo was already an introvert, as shown in the beginning of the series itself. He's focused more on his studies. On his Dio journey, he shifts his focus. According to Araki, the stand is a spirit manifestation. Whenever Star Platinum comes out, it's how Jotaro feels deep down. So when Star Platinum is doing his aura battle cry, it's really Jotaro screaming inside, unable to express how he feels in any other form. For more on the character of Jotaro, I definitely suggest you check out Franquistador's video, Why Jotaro Doesn't Suck. It's incredibly in-depth, and expands on him way more than I possibly could. Now, shifting focus from Jotaro, let's take a look at another character, Polnareff. By far one of the best characters in Stardust. He has a number of moments, from the fight with Alessi and the love interest he can never be with, the epic handshake with Kakyoin, or his triumphant surprise attack on Dio. But by far my two favorite scenes are his battle with Vanilla Ice and the confrontation with Dio at the staircase. Both these moments show Polnareff coming through for his fallen friends and carrying the torch in their place, even if it results in his own death. The whole gang and their chemistry is incredibly fun. This is one of my favorite parts of this part, is the way the characters will play off of each other. It's just a couple guys having a good time when they can. That's another thing about part 3, is the designs are top notch. It's easy to differentiate characters and they aren't overly designed. Hirohiko himself states, "I've actually based subsequent JoJo's on his, Jotaro, design and differentiated from there. The character and stand designs are wonderful in this part, and that's something I haven't even gotten to. Stands. Let's not forget that Stardust Crusaders introduced the trademark ability of JoJo, that is the stand. Mr. Raque brilliantly wrote and designed characters to be— Whoa! What is that? What the fuck is that? Little known fact for anime only watchers, Hirohiko's style changed a lot throughout the series, so at the beginning there's this, but then a chapter later there's this. Finally, the last thing I wanted to bring up. You know, there's one thing that Stardust Crusaders haters never bring up: the ending. Because really there are only two parts that have a satisfying ending that matches the quality of the series: Stardust Crusaders and Steel Ball Run. All the other parts leave off on a cliffhanger or are incredibly underwhelming. Stardust takes us on a long epic journey and we get a fitting ending, the bittersweet fact that their long journey is over and they can go home. When I saw this moment in the anime, there were tears rolling down my face. The last embrace the remaining Crusaders share, the turnaround freeze frame, and the final scene of Jotaro looking at the photo, Joseph smiling when he looks at Jotaro, and the final shot of Jotaro grinning. The person who had been angry for so long, remembering his friends, and the journey they embarked on so long ago. So that was it for my analysis of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Stardust Crusaders. If you enjoyed anything about this video, give it a thumbs up. I'm going to be doing more of these, and the next one will probably be about a tendency for battle, I don't know. So, make sure you subscribe, because make sure you subscribe for that, okay? Yeah. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.
Shining justice burns on in me. In this strange town, I don't ever want to be. Everybody raise your hand, bring it straight up to the sky, as the will inside us takes us to